We're here with Scott Hegg, K&H Excavating. Hey, Scott, could you give us a little background information on you?
Yeah, so 2 years ago we started K&H Excavating. We're a family-owned company here in Duluth and surrounding areas. Provide a wide range of services for our customers, creating a successful partnership with them from start to finish. We do a lot of site prep, utility work, take a project from start to finish, raw land, and create a vision.
And before we got started, you were talking about, I asked you if there was any ups and downs in the beginning. Then you said, no, it's been kind of smooth sailing.
It's been pretty good. So my background, I own the company with my best friend Spencer. We're really family based, so our two families kind of came together. I grew up working in engineering, and I worked for the city of Duluth for 7 years before this in utility engineering. And Spencer grew up in the operating sides of things, a lot of equipment and installation. And we kind of just came together one day and decided, let's take this and see where it can go. And we started it and kind of took contacts that we knew were in the field and made a dream come true.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. What made you want to stay local with your business, and what was the need like to help people a little greater in this area?
Well, it's aging infrastructure. I mean, it's a huge thing that's across the whole United States right now, but especially in this area, Duluth in general. Everything's kind of starting to fall apart and needs to be replaced, and a lot of new construction's happening right now. And what that brings on utilities and the need for contractors to install those utilities and do the site work.
Yeah, they're doing President Biden. He has some of his policies are geared towards updating the infrastructure, aging infrastructure,
right?
Especially energy.
Yes, and there's a huge federal grant right now coming through for lead water service replacement, and they're going to try to implement that around the city of Duluth. They've kind of done some pilot projects to begin with, and over the next couple of years, you'll see a lot more replacement and money coming through in contracts to start with that.
Jeez, man, I think about Duluth and think about all the hills there and how old those pipes are, because they're always busting in Duluth all the time. So what kind of project is that going to be? Can you...
Well, as far as in Duluth itself, the water mains themselves, there's no lead water mains, it's service lines. The mains range from cast iron to ductile iron to high-density polyethylene, also known as HDPE. The older water mains in Duluth from the late 1800s and early 1900s are actually not the problematic ones. The problematic ones are the World War II era mains. The newer cast iron, the 1940s and 50s era. It's when materials for pipes were harder to find because of the World War II was going on. And so kind of the worst materials were used to create these products, and now we're seeing them fail.
Do you work on any of those projects?
Yes. Yep, we do water main replacement, sewer main replacement, all the services, natural gas work, you name it, we do it.
And you guys are really busy. Joel is with you now in the company, and you guys are literally just got off of work 20 minutes ago.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Dedicated.
Yeah, I mean, just today, me and Joel went up the North Shore, and we did a sewer line repair and came back down, and we're working on a development job in West Duluth and finished up there for the day. Tomorrow we're going to be in multiple spots around the city doing work, so it's constantly moving around and project to project and getting stuff done.
And that's what I really like about Scott's company. He ain't scared to share the knowledge. It's like, and I think that's an important thing of being a boss, is being able to share what you know with the people that you bring in to work with you. And it's like, when I got out there, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but it's like now I'm becoming more knowledgeable with what we're doing and how things are being done. And it's just it's a process. It's a process of learning. But what I wanted to do is kind of like bring Scott back in a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how, what made you want to take engineering? like right out of high school? Like where was your mind at to be able to take them steps to get into that position?
Well, I've always been pretty mechanical, and I like to figure out how things work, and so that kind of led me into that line, and that's kind of how I went with it. And utilities are kind of my jam, so I just wanted to continue on with that. And I started out, and I started working at Lake Superior Consulting early on in my career. Got contracted out to Enbridge, did some pipeline projects, right-of-way acquisition, mainline design stuff. From there, went to the city of Duluth, did utility engineering, basically from design, inspection, you name it, and that kind of led me into where we're at now.
So was your family involved in any of that at that time of you becoming aware with that you were mechanically inclined, or is that just something you
kind of just on my own? I just brought it onto myself, and
you just tried it?
I mean, I work on cars or anything?
No, it was more dirt bikes and stuff like that, small engine based stuff. I mean, my dad and mom can tell you I'm 8, 9 years old. I'm taking apart motors and trying to figure stuff out, and I'm taking apart Grandpa's lawnmower and doing whatever.
And no extra screws at the end of the
No,
project?
I mean, I always figured it out, and if I couldn't,
there's a washer here.
Yeah.
I've got to take it back apart.
And today there's everything on YouTube. Like,
it's
if I
huge
need
today.
something done on my car, if I need brakes, if I don't know how to do something, I go on YouTube and it's there.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, the world's evolving every day, and just to have that in your back pocket now is huge. And I'm sure all of our elders wish they had that back then. When they had questions when they were taking something apart or trying to figure out how something worked. And now there's probably a video on how to do anything.
And with your kids, or how old do you have kids?
I have
right?
2 daughters, 9 and 6 right now.
Are they mechanically inclined?
My oldest daughter is, yeah. She's constantly out with me in the garage or just around the house, or she likes coming to job sites. She gets in the machines. And
man, that's so cool to hear that, because you don't get to hear that every single day. You don't get to hear somebody teaching their daughter how to be mechanically inclined and take things apart, put it back together. That feeling of I accomplished this, I fixed this thing that was broken, now it can run again.
Right.
So,
well, exactly. And just the whole world now, we're kind of getting to the kids are a lot in tablets a lot more and stuff like that, and they're not outside as much and not getting involved as much. So we need to kind of take a step back and get them more involved in these things to kind of grow as people too.
Hands on. I believe that totally too. Like that's the best way to learn is be on the job and watch it done in front of your eyes.
Yeah, and that's the same thing I try to implement at the job site every day, as you know, Joel.
Yep.
I mean, at K&H we're a family, and my employees are part of my family. And if I'm learning something, I'm teaching it with them. They're learning with me. And if I can teach somebody one new thing every day, it's just helping them become a better person, a better employee for me, and we can grow together.
Yep, there's a right way, there's a wrong way, and there's Scott's way.
and is that the type of leader that you are then? You just like share everything that you know, or you share?
Well, I don't think anybody should ever hold it all to themselves. I mean, that's part of the world, and growing together, we should all be able to do stuff together. I mean, if our leaders in the world were more that way, I mean, things would go smoother overall.
Joel talks about this. He's been talking about you for like 2, 3, 4 weeks now, however long he's been working with you, and just the leadership qualities that I hear about you and the way you navigate the world and figure out your company. It's pretty inspiring.
No, I appreciate that.
Oh, it's a dedication.
It is.
Like like how you say you get off the clock, we get off the field at 3:00. You're still at work.
Yeah. There's always paperwork to be done. There's kind of, figuring out stuff for the next day. I go home, do the family thing, hang out with the kids, the wife, we got hockey or soccer or anything like that. We go do that, and then kind of transition back from that after everybody goes to bed and go back to the paperwork and the computer world and try to get some shut-eye before you got to wake up and do it all over again.
So the administrator, engineer, whatever the job needs, I guess.
Parts runner, everything.
everything.
He does.
Family man. And then, so how much time are you sleeping a single night?
5 hours.
That's
And
a
that's
great
what it takes.
great question right there.
5
like
hours.
like his brother talks about that all the time.
So
Yeah,
you're
you
on bed at around 11, getting up at 4,
More like midnight, get up at 5, but yeah.
and then you just grind it out for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, man, that's some dedication.
Yep. And then, weekends, we try not to do any work on the weekends. Weekends are definitely family time. Try to go do whatever we can, take the family. We go camping, Both my kids race dirt bikes. We do motocross, and that's my business partner, Spencer. He owns a local motocross track here, Echo Valley, right up in Brookston. And
you do too, right? You own a.
I have a track in my
Yeah,
house. It's
has
kind
it?
of a private deal, yeah. But, yeah.
So if you ever want to get your dirt bike going, you can go to Scott's place
Yep.
and mess around on the track.
I've never rode a dirt bike. I'd be too scared. Pop that
They make
clutch.
little ones.
So your kids, do they ride the dirt bike too?
Yeah, they both race.
And the 9-year-old, she takes
Oh, yeah, she helps
part.
with maintenance and everything, yeah.
She does the maintenance on her bike.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Dang.
rule.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. If you want to ride it and you want to race it, you got to help maintain it.
Man, that's what I'm trying to teach my kids too at the same time. Like, hey, this is your room. You got a TV in here. You got your bed. You got everything in here. At least you can pick it up.
Yep.
So
Yep. You're providing all this extra stuff to them in their life. They need to be able to take care of that.
And they're learning. I mean, and that's what it takes to be a good parent. And sometimes it's not fun being a
No, it's
good
not. You got to
parent.
be stern. I mean, you can't. The giving in it's tough. I mean, some days they may hate you, but at the end, they will realize that you did it for a reason, and it's going to help them be a better person.
So where do you see the family business continuing being a family business even with the daughters?
I think so. My business partner Spencer too. We're 50% owners each in this. So Spencer and his wife Amber and his two daughters Mila and Ava. His daughters are the same age as my daughters, so kind of we do everything together, even outside of work. And I think we all put our hands into this business and our hearts and souls, and I think it's going to continue on being a family business. I mean, that's the goal.
And is the disagreements between you and Spencer, how do you guys get over that? Like, hey, I think we should do this. No, I think we should do that. Has that ever happened yet?
It has, but I mean, me and him get through things better than most, I would say. I mean, that's kind of how this all even started. We feed off each other so much. He can look at something one way, and he can look at, say, dirt and the way it's graded out and the way it's going to drain water. And I'm looking at the numbers of that dirt and how much it takes to move this and what the cost for this machine to move this. And so we kind of just jive and it works.
So it's like a puzzle.
It's a big
You guys
puzzle,
are-
and we each have the pieces and we put them together.
and I don't think any, people going into businesses together, they don't, like, you need that
Yeah.
to have a good vibe or flow or anything like that to make it work.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we just work. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. It's, I look at things a different way than he does, and it works together, and he has his duties, I have mine, and we make it work.
What I wanted to touch on a little bit is we talked about this earlier today about you becoming a union company.
Yes.
That's a big step for your company.
Oh, definitely. So we always had the plan. We weren't sure when. Our first year, it was good. We wanted to try to get some better trained employees that kind of were coming to us. We didn't have to teach as much stuff to. And so we reached out to local labor halls, signed with the 49ers and the local 1091 laborers now. So we can pull in some people who have a little better training. And if they don't, we can train them on the job. But, I mean, in this business, with any business now, it's, I believe me and Spencer both believe in treating our employees fairly, and, we're not going to pay bottom dollar to people that deserve more. So we want to have, good pay, good benefits, and be able to offer that because you're going to get better people to come work for you. And like I said, if this is one big family or a family-based company, why shouldn't everybody in the family get a piece of the pie?
What do you see in the future of the business?
Presently we're doing a lot of municipal utility stuff, dirt work, site prep jobs. We're phasing into a lot more development work now. We're doing some private development work where we take raw land and basically install utilities, move dirt, put roads in, get house pads ready, and then the builders can come in and build the houses. It looks like the development phase is kind of going to keep going for the next couple of years here. And if that starts to slow down, we'll kind of shift focus. Like I said, the lead water service stuff in Duluth, as the federal funding comes in, that's going to be another thing that we could jump into. Just municipal and state work itself. There's tons of work that gets bid out every year. We could really shift focus to that. There's always something, and my mind's always looking 3 months ahead. Every day, no matter where we're at, I'm always thinking, what's 3 months ahead? Because you can have all the jobs you want in the spring, but you got to make a company run for the whole year. So that's basically where we're at.
Are you doing anything on the can of worms down there?
No.
No?
Nope.
Doesn't require any excavating or...
No, it does. We just, there's a large contractor. I think they're the second largest contractor in the United States, actually, Ames Construction. They're the prime on that, and they're doing the work down there.
But you're just busy anyways.
We're busy anyways. That's a more of a large scale project, larger than where we want to be right now. We're more of the smaller residential jobs or smaller development sites.
Do you ever think you're going to get in that level of work?
We've talked about it, and we've been asked the question quite a bit. And once you grow a company to that large, it no longer becomes a family company. It becomes basically a monster that you have to keep feeding. And so when you get to that point, now you're pulling employees constantly. You never get to know your employees. There's money being thrown in every which direction, and you're trying to just make something run at that point, and you're bidding on anything possible to make that thing run.
So you're trying to keep it. So you're trying to keep that family feeling for as long as you can.
100%.
And probably the longevity of the company.
100%. That's why we started this company. This wasn't something to, I wasn't trying to build a monster. Me and Spencer had we didn't want that, because he's come from companies like that, and I've seen companies like that. And if you can keep it family based, and you can keep it kind of small, medium sized, and and get along with everybody and grow as a family, then it's going to be better for everybody in the long run.
On the downtime, do you guys do anything recreational besides motor?
Like I said, we do the motocross stuff.
Motocross.
Yep. Hockey, soccer, kids play
hunt?
soccer. I do hunt, yep. So deer hunt, pheasant hunt.
Deer hunting out in Brookston?
Yep.
Yep. Brookston, man, they have some huge bucks out that way.
Yes, they do. In the last 2 years, though.
I'm not trying to tell everybody that.
You just did.
Yeah, you just did.
They have to know where those are.
Yeah. There's, I hunt a lot at my house, or my neighbor's property, but, yeah, we're outdoors. That's what we do. We hang out outdoors.
Do you ever see some huge deer on projects? Like when you're pulling in early in the morning?
We have. You guys saw a bear at the last project you were on.
Yeah,
right?
bear. We saw coyotes. We saw a bobcat.
Yeah, we saw a bobcat the other day.
Yeah, so that was very.
Oh, I saw on Facebook this morning there's like a couple cougars around Duluth right now. So who knows when they're going to make their way to our projects.
Yeah.
That's
They'll go where they're following the food.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. We chased one out in Brookston. We were doing a deer drive, hopped the road, and my brother was saying that tail was so long. He said that was a mountain lion, and I was like, man.
Yeah.
So it makes you nervous being out there now.
Well, it's funny because all those years they always said, there's no way they're around here. They're definitely out there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they are.
So how old are you?
Right now, I'm 33.
33, and you got this business going. 31, you decided
It's go time. Decided it's go time.
That's like a weird age, I'm 35, and I don't know, 2 years ago, 3, 4, probably about the same age, 30, 31. It kind of all started when I went into the doctor, and the doctor told me, he said, I wasn't even taking care of myself. I was 280 pounds. And the doctor said, hey, you have a heart of a 17-year-old. And hearing that and knowing what I felt like it changed my entire life. So I started working harder, started losing weight, and then just the focus. Like, I'm in my 30s. I need to like make some moves now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird age. It seems like for men, the 20s, you just kind of go through life.
Well,
And then 30s, you grow up.
It was weird. I grew up pretty early, I would say, and me and my wife were young when we got married and started a family pretty young, and I kind of got the career established. And when I was at the city of Duluth, I became really good, friends with my boss there. And after going through all the projects and stuff for those years, I seen all the other contractors around town, and I saw what needs to be done, and what's going on and what they weren't doing, and the issues. And I'm like, well, we're going to be the contractor that everybody wants to work with, and not the contractor that does it wrong. So
that's what it sounds like.
And that's what me and Spencer sat down and talked one day over the course of a couple months. We just kept talking about it, and it became reality.
So you took responsibility early on in your 20s, and then you got vision.
Yeah.
In the 30s, and now you're just rolling with it.
Rolling with it. And it's been going good, and I just I'm trying to instill that in my kids. Be responsible and figure out the right way to do things, and try not to make mistakes in life. You're gonna make mistakes, and it's what helps you become a better person. And we were fortunate enough where this business kind of worked right away based on our experience from previous jobs and careers, and we're rolling with it.
What do you think of our co-host?
Oh, I love Joel. Co-host. Joel's an awesome employee. I tell you what, that guy comes to work every day, and he has a smile on his face, and he's always got a new joke every morning, and it's all day long. It's nothing but fun and laughs with Joel.
Gotta have fun at work, man. If you can't have fun.
Well, and that's what we do. I mean.
Yep.
We could be in the worst situations, like today. We're up there doing a sewer repair, and it was muddy, and it wasn't very fun. But guess what? We had a good time.
Yeah, exactly. We got through it, and just like you said, your brother, he don't smile much. He's smiling all the time now,
yep.
So that's a good thing, and it's just like I just I like getting along with the people I work with, man. That makes work more enjoyable, makes it just more confident to walk in to the job and just know who you're working with, and know how to talk to them, know what kind of respect you're going to give them, because they give you that same respect back, and that's that's a really good thing about K&H. That's why it's like, well, I'm gonna stay here as long as I can, of course, until you guys don't need me. It's like, I'm gonna be here, and that's that's how laboring is,
Yep, and like I said, we love having you here. You fit right in right away, and we're getting stuff done. And we'll work through the rest of this year, and hopefully it's a short winter, and next spring we can start up where we left off.
Yeah, I don't want to go dig anything out in the winter time, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's the issue with up here though, is our window of construction season is so small because of the weather. So we try to get as much done as we can in the little time we have.
You ever think of doing a seasonal job here and then a seasonal work down south somewhere?
We've talked about it. The problem with the different states is there's different wage rates everywhere, and so it's tough. Here the wage rates are higher in Minnesota than they are, say, in Florida. For instance, you can work year-round down there, but the wages are less. And that's all different based on the different unions and stuff like that and pay rates. So it just hasn't really came across our mind yet. I mean, if we had a bad year for some reason, then yeah, we would definitely look into it. But right now it's going good, and things are rolling. So.
But man, in Florida, I mean, I know it happens in Duluth, but Florida, you're dealing with sinkholes and pythons, man.
No,
I don't know about that.
But utilities are only like 3 feet deep in Florida, or some of them are even above ground. Up here, I mean, everything's 7-8 feet deep.
Yeah.
And do you deal with sinkholes at all on the
No, I
Does
mean,
that ever mess things up in Duluth?
yeah, in the past, I mean, I know there's, well, especially on a hillside, you know, you have a storm pipe coming down a hill and it gets a hole in it or a crack in it and water leaches through and it starts eroding everything around the pipe and takes out a road. I mean, I know what's happened. Is it a common thing? No, not really. But anytime you got huge elevation change and a pipe at a crazy percentage for grade, anything's possible.
Oh, I think we're kind of keeping Scott a little longer than I told than we scheduled. But I just wanted to thank you for coming out and visiting us today, Scott.
No, I appreciate it.
We really appreciate you and everything that you do. I appreciate you and for just giving me the opportunity to learn something new and add some more skills to my skills card. Like that's important. One more thing I wanted to say was I know how hard you work and watching you, be all around the place, and then be a good father, a good husband, all that good thing like you put so much inspiration into my life every day. Just to watch you be that person, and that drives me to go home and do this, do that, do this, like put a couple more steps forward just to add a little more value to my own life. And you probably have no idea that you're doing that for me, but that's what you are doing for me every day.
Well,
it's like like you're making that possible for a lot of people that know you and that get to know you, and I just appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. If I could rub that off on everybody I knew, it'd be awesome.
Scott, it's been a pleasure finally meeting you. I heard a lot about you for the last couple of months, and now I finally get to meet you. And man, you lived up to expectations, man, or exceeded. I should say exceeded expectations. You just have this charisma, and it comes across, and you can hear it, and you can see it, and I think I know how we could end this. So if people want to get a hold of you that see the episode, might have some work, how do they get a hold of K&H?
Yep. So, like I said, my name's Scott Hegg. My phone number is 218-340-8691. Co-owner Spencer Catholic, 218-270-0423. Our website is KNHexcavating.com, and we're on Facebook, K&H Excavating Inc. Give us a call. If, we can help you out with any dirt work project you have, from driveway installation, utilities, site prep, you name it, we're there.
Scott, you got to come back one of these days.
I will, definitely. I'd love to.
Yeah, if you don't get too rich on us.
Yeah.
Hey, we've had CEOs and big project managers, and he'll come back.
I'll come back.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Scott. You have a wonderful day. Rest of your evening.
All right, take care, Scott.
All right, you too. Thanks, guys.